Special edition of Hannity, and we continue to be joined by our studio audience tonight. Now, we didn't hear from a few people here. Let's start with you, Jedediah. Your thoughts on the importance of this. Where does it go from here? Because we have very influential people in this room, that everybody has a strong voice in the media. Where do you think this goes in terms of the campaign? If it's not the economy, it's not national security, do you think this begins to resonate?
I do, and I think because he has a record, it's important to go back and now see what led him to this type of policy. What shaped this policy that we see now, this big government agenda? Where did it come from? Where did he learn it? And I'm so glad that Michelle did this, because in 2008, when I wrote my book, I experienced the same thing. I would meet people, they had no idea why they were adamantly defending this guy. They knew that it was cool to do it, but they had no idea why. So it's not too late. Let's figure out what he's about, where he came from, and how all of this policy that's been so ineffective, where did he get that from? Yeah. What is he about?
Deneen, Borelli, you wrote your book about being a liberal in New York.
Conservative in New York.
Conservative in New York,
Yes.
Exactly. And Deneen, you wrote a book, Blacklash.
Yes.
Bestseller, did very well, but you also start in the beginning of the book how if I Google your name, you're excoriated by people because you're African American, you're conservative.
Absolutely. Anytime I talk about my conservative views, I am attacked, especially when I'm on your show, Sean. But, you know, we talk about vetting. But we talk about the importance of vetting Obama, how it was not done by the media. It's really important for the American people to do so. I mean, and when you look at his energy policy, for example, our economy runs on energy. It's the lifeblood of our economy. He has a war on coal, a war on fossil fuels. It's hurting hardworking Americans. It's harming businesses. Our energy prices are going up, and he talks about wanting to fix things, but look at what he's doing. Look at his actions and his policies. They're harming our country, and people are hurting right now.
In other words, but one thing that we never have seen, Jeffrey Lord, American Spectator, we have never seen the evolution. You know, he just keeps doubling down. He's had so many moments where he could have either a sister soldier moment, you know, and reject Bill Maher's contribution, or just change his policies because they're not working.
He's not going to go there.
But why?
He's a committed leftist. And the one thing I think that's important to understand is that all these stories about Romney and the bullying and all of this kind of thing, it's part of building a narrative about who Mitt Romney is, just as they tried to do it and did do it with George W. Bush to some extent. This goes back a long way. This is what they did to Barry Goldwater in 1964. And one of the reasons is that the policies on the left can't sustain the light of day. Yeah. Because as they begin to take hold, when Lyndon Johnson was 2 years into office, he was thoroughly rebuked because all the things that he promised got passed, and there was an overwhelming rejection of the Great Society in 1966. This is why they don't do it. This is why they concentrate on the bullies and all of the old stories like that.
To pick up on that point, Kerry Pickett, it's very simple to me. If the president could run on his record, he would run on his record. But he can't. So, in other words, and he doesn't seem to have the willingness to acknowledge that it's failed. Right. So does what they're adopting in terms of tactics and strategies, does it work?
Of course not. That's why he has to end up creating this whole war on women strategy. That's why he has to come out and say that he's endorsing gay marriage at this point. He has to start firing up his base, because he knows that at this point everything is a very tight poll-wise between him and Romney. He's not even thinking about independence. He's thinking about making sure that he can get his base out and get them to the polls. He's more concerned about everybody sitting on the couch. I mean, think about it. You had David Dinkins, who was elected very popularly by bringing out his base, and then second time he came out for his re-election, that base didn't come out. He doesn't want to be David Dinkinized at this point.
Or Jimmy Carterized.
Exactly.
You know, all right, just a quick survey as we're wrapping up the program. By the way, thank you all for being here. I know you all have very busy schedules. You're all influential opinion makers in the country. You do a lot of hard work and research, and I really appreciate it. How many of you think that Barack Obama is going to win re-election? You do. You do.
It's definitely possible.
I didn't ask if it's possible. How many think he's going to win?
Do you think the American people understand his record? Do you think the American people know about his record, that the media has vetted his record? Do you think the American people know that we've lost allies that we've had for the past 30 and 40 years, secular regimes, to Islamic supremacist regimes in...
But that's why we're doing the show, Pam.
I will. Say for you.
We have 30 seconds left. How many of you are pretty confident that Mitt Romney is going to win this election? Confident. I'm with you. You think it's a toss-up. You do not think so. Steve Bannon, you're an important voice.
And I think I got to tell you, because I think that Axelrod and those guys are going to start defining Mitt Romney today. It's going to come down to 8 states, 125 counties, and 6 million voters. And I think it's going to be tough.
Well, we'll do the mainstream media's job. Thanks to all of you with all your help. We really appreciate you being here. And that is all the time we have left this evening. As always, thank you for being with us, and I hope you have a great weekend.